Hi guys, something wonderful about listening to Andy Burnham, the Mayor of Greater Manchester, is that he's free to speak his mind. While he'd been a member of Labour, and of course he has obligations to support the party and its leader, he is in a special position to talk more frankly about different policies. He doesn't have to worry about the Chief Whip in the same way as an MP does. So when he sat down with Beth Rigby of Sky News, he pushed some policies that many people on the left have been calling for. More and better taxation of the rich, but also reforms that make the system more equitable. Have a listen.
Because your colleague, who you've mentioned a lot, Angela Rayner, she's put a memo in, and it was leaked, and it shouldn't have been, but it was leaked, about saying, look, Rachel Reeves, instead of finding spending cuts, raise taxes, and there's a string of them that she's talked about. Increased rate of corporation tax on banks, extended freeze of threshold at which 45% tax is paid, scrapping tax-free allowance on dividends are going on. I mean, they're sort of targeted taxes on wealthier people. Do you agree with that?
I think when you're in a situation like we're in, you do have to look first at the people who can most, if you like, make that contribution. And hence you mentioned the benefit changes before. And I have spoken out and said, I think, they should look again at those. I would put it a different way. Where have we sort of obviously not taxed assets and wealth properly? And I'd come up with something that can be controversial, but council tax has not been revalued since the early 90s. So there are homes in London worth tens of millions of pounds that pay less council tax than many average properties here in Greater Manchester. So I would look at reforms in that space. In fact, I would look further at land taxation and land taxation reform. For instance, if you put in new infrastructure like we were talking about before, what I learned through Crossrail, Elizabeth Line, is you lift the values of that land. So why don't we capture some of that uplift from that?
Wonderful, wonderful. We need to hear more from Andy Burnham. Just about the reforms to council tax, it's been estimated that it could bring in billions of pounds, not millions, but billions to the exchequer and to councils. So this would be a great idea. Also, a land tax has been estimated would bring in billions as well. At a time when, the richest people in society are sitting on very expensive properties and sitting on very expensive land. And as Andy Burnham has pointed out, if you impose these taxes, you can take some money off the rise in the value of this land as well. So you can benefit in both ways. What we need to hear more from is Andy Burnham. I think he's in a unique position, as I said at the beginning, to push policies that, as he said himself, were controversial. But he's in a unique position because he doesn't have to look over his shoulder at, okay, is there anyone trying to take over from me? What about the Tories? Are they going to attack me on this? No, so he's not like the government. He's not like the parliamentary party. He's in a very powerful position. But of course, it's important for him to protect that position. He doesn't want to be pushing policies that are going to undermine him. But the Labour Party should be using people like Andy Burnham more, because he can push these policies and test the water to see if the public view them in a positive light. And then the government can follow through on that. But they need to see about testing other policies. They need to look at reforms to the council tax system, to other tax systems, because it's not working at the moment. Ordinary people are struggling to get by. Public services are on their knees, and the spending review is coming up soon. And there is talk about a whole range of public services being cut, not getting the money that they need, while most of the money is going to the NHS, defence, and a few other industries and a few other authorities. So this needs to change, and you need somebody like Andy Burnham at the front of this, pushing policies like this. Let me know in the comment section, guys, what you think. As always, your comments are greatly appreciated. Thanks a lot.